Welcome to The Point of View. We're live on Citi TV, and it's a show that brings you the right guests, asks them the relevant questions, and comes up with useful insights. It's an interactive show. Our hashtag is The Point of View, and we're on Facebook at Citi TV GH. We have a very, very interesting show for you today because I've captioned the show A Tale of Two Companies, borrowing from A Tale of Two Cities. Very interesting differences between two companies that are equally important to the economy. I'll tell you who they are and what I'll be discussing when we come back. So it's been an eventful week this past few days. Government has been very, very busy. One company is going through problems. Workers of the company say, you need to come and save us. The other company has been doing very well, and the government says, we're not getting enough money from you. One company is in the cocoa industry predominantly, and they also do share nuts. The other company is into manganese. One company made losses up to many millions of Ghana cedis. The other made almost supernormal profits. One company is run by Ghanaians, the other is run by Chinese. This is the tale of the two cities. We'll tell you more about this when we come back. But let me start with the one that's very easy to follow, the produce buying company. It's a large licensed buying company in Ghana. It's been in existence for many years. It employs thousands of people. In fact, permanent staff, 1,079. But if you add non-permanent staff, it's into the tens of thousands. The workers say their management is inept, the board should be dissolved, and government should come and save them from destruction. How bad are the numbers and how serious are their problems? I'll be finding out from one of the leaders of the workers' union. He's in the person of Prince Xavier Gankui. He's the chairman of the professional and managerial staff union of Produce Buying Company. Prince, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Ben.
So Prince's name is Gankui, which actually means spectacles. And funny enough, he's not wearing any, but I am. The other issue has to do with the Ghana Manganese Company, which has come under fire. The government of Ghana announced at a press conference on the 5th of April, on the 5th of August, that the company should cease all operations because the company had ripped us off. Apparently, government had done an audit of its operations from 2010 to 2017 and found out that actually the company had helped Ghana lose, or indeed was depriving Ghana of up to $360 million. Well, the company had a press conference today and said, no, we've actually made good payments. We are one of your best taxpayers, and you got it entirely wrong. So the finance manager of the company is in the studio, and is in the person of Emmanuel Apiakubi. He's here to speak about his company, Ghana Manganese. Prince, great to have you.
Welcome.
Great. We're happy to have you with us as well. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take you to the Produce Buying Company's head office in Accra. Michael Ubodu was there when the workers went on a mini protest. This is what he found.
The workers from offices across the country thronged the headquarters of the Produce Buying Company at about 8 a.m. Tuesday morning. They appeared very disgruntled and bent on making it known.
So our concerns primarily are for clarity in the running of this company. We want to know the government stance in PBC. Because there are quarters that you go and you hear that, oh, government doesn't have any say in a company that it appoints the CEO, appoints the deputy CEO, a company that it has more percentage on the board through SNET and through Ministry of Finance. But then when issues come and you approach the government, they don't say anything about it.
Why we are here today is all about the welfare and the sustainability of the company. PBC is not standing on its feet as at now. All efforts to put things in place just to get the company to be on its feet is not yielding any positive results. And from a critical study, the board is not helping the company. You see, the board is not helping the company. And therefore, if there is any way we will want to revive the company for it to be on its proper footing, the board needs to be changed immediately. Because we are not getting money to run the company. In our season purchases, the pattern of purchases, the last time we were giving money to buy cocoa was on week 19. Week 19 is around January. And from January to date, we are not doing anything. But we are being paid. At what cost are we being paid? Because we have to generate money to pay ourselves. The money is not forthcoming.
Their concerns were further corroborated by their union chairman, Prince Xavier Gankui, who outlined their demands.
We are requesting for a bailout. Number one, from the government. By the grace of God, His Excellency the President has made a firm promise. We don't doubt it. Our number two request is letter of comfort. What a letter of comfort does is, because we are a licensed buying company, before you can go and access seed fund from Cocoa Board, you need to provide bank guarantee.
General Secretary of the Industrial and Commercial Workers Union, Solomon Kuti, revealed efforts that have been made to register the concerns of the staff.
Therefore, all of us are supposed to become the proper vigilantes to take watch over whatever is coming to us to start the main crop. We are not supposed to look on. We are supposed to speak out, name, shame, and possibly have people change from their offices. The National Union is prepared to collaborate with you and ensure that the team that His Excellency Nangwa Akufo-Addo have put in place to ensure that the over 10,000 workers will not lose their job, but they will keep their job and keep running. We were also able to explain to him, we have shown how much we love PBC. All of us here are shareholders of PBC. When things were getting tough, we sacrificed our negotiations. We sacrificed even our fuel and maintenance that is supposed to be paid to us. And for the past 3 months that we have not been working, it is obvious that if nothing urgently is done, this great industry is going to go down.
Management of PBC have vehemently blamed the current misfortunes of the company on the former management, accusing them of poor decisions that have depleted the company's finances. But Managing Director of PBC, Kofi Owusu-Boateng, says his outfit is hopeful that a meeting between PBC, the Industrial and Commercial Workers Union Ghana, and the President earlier to deliberate on how to turn the fortunes of the company will yield positive results.
What is poor management? What is their concept? What is their you should have asked them. If you don't have money, you can't work. If you don't have money, I came to meet it. Yes, so that's why I've been going round. That's why finally I had to take them to the president. The general secretary and I went to the president, see the president, and the president, fortunately, we had my minister, agri minister, we had a deputy finance minister, and then we had the labor minister. So that's why we've been working day and night, and then.
So what assurances are you giving them?
The assurance is that I trust the president. But can you go beyond the president's word? He is the final authority. So when he gives her the money, we shall turn the fortunes. If the money is there, you should be able to work. I know they will call for my head because when I came, I've taken some privileges that they were having away from them. I've taken some privileges, yes.
Such as?
They were going for a hospital for free. They will take their brothers, their sisters, and all this. I've cancelled that.
So themselves, they are not?
They'll go, but this when you go, you pay. And they'll come and collect.
So for the workers of PBC, all they want is their company working in full-fledged. Reporting for Citi News, my name is Michael Obudu.
So that was Michael Obudu's report. Really interesting. So you've not been working for many months, but you've been paid. And your MD is even saying that you actually abuse some of your privileges. Now, Prince, what's really going on? What is the... Is it true that from January you haven't worked? You haven't done any work?
Yeah, Ben, it's very true. From January, we have not been very active in the core of the business we do in terms of cocoa buying. We buy credit cocoa from the farmers, getting money to pay them will be issues. You might have even heard that there was a time we credited cocoa from farmers. For close to 2 months, we were not able to pay them. The farmers were making noise on the radio stations.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's true. We are being paid through, how do you call it, the little funds that.
So you are being paid for no work done.
Yes.
And yet you are blaming management for mismanaging the company. The MD says you people abuse some of the privileges and he's cut some of those. So actually, maybe you are part of the problem as workers.
That cannot be true. Because if you say you cut our privileges, the hospital he talked about, we attend cocoa clinic. And we attend cocoa clinic with our cars.
You say you bring your family members, your uncles and aunties.
That cannot be possible.
And he cut it. And therefore, that's why you are doing against. But actually, The company has been having problems before he came. Indeed, if you permit me, the MD pointed us to a few things that he took over in 2017. The legacy debt he came to meet was 650 million. If you have such a debt, no bank is prepared to give you money. PBC was spending 15 million cedis on servicing bank loans. And the same audit showed that there were so many problems with the company. And the problems were self-inflicted before he came. He said, for example, the company had been in unwarranted projects. The company ventured into hotel management at an initial cost of 10 million cedis. In the end, the company spent 42 million cedis for the hotel without board approval. All this was discovered after he led an audit to be done in 2017. So if anything at all, your MD is the one who's exposing the rot and trying to correct it. And workers should be supporting him instead of coming on TV to be telling government to sack him and the board.
Ben, we hold a different view. In the first place, the issue of the hospital, we attend Cocoa Clinic. When my family attend Cocoa Clinic and they bring the bill to you, you know the names. The details are added. We have audit unit. So how can somebody, Ben, we just imagine, how can somebody, allow his aunties, his families to attend clinic for the bill to be footed by the company? It cannot be possible. And do you think Cocoa Clinic can allow this?
So you deny that? What about the point he makes that the company was already in distress when he took over, that you were in 650 million legacy debt, spending 15 million on servicing bank loans?
Yes, it is true. He took over the company, or they took over the company when we were having a little challenge due to the diversification of the company that we embark on. But it is not true that the debt that they took over is 650 million. Ben, let me refer you to our 2016-2017 annual financial statement. The debt or the total liability of the company as at that time, which coincided with the time that Mr. Kofi Owusu-Boateng took over the reins of this company called PBC Limited. The total liability as at then was 564 million. 564 million. And as we talk, our debt portfolio is around almost 800 million. Strike the difference and see.
So
you have added over 200 million.
So you owed 564 million.
Yes.
And it's gone up to 800 million. All right, I'm going to show you your numbers from 2015 to prove to you that you've actually been making losses and you've been owing money for the past 4 years. And that, look at that. So your revenue, your current liabilities between 2015 and 2017 have been fairly stable. No, have been going up from 381 million in 2015. So this is the fifth row. 2016, 380. 2017, 493. Now, your losses have also been increasing over the past period. From a profit of 6 million, which is the net profit, second line, 2016, it increased to a loss of 15 million. 2017, it increased to 22 million. So it's just continued where it's come from. Let me talk about your ratios. Return on capital employed. Look at it. Return on capital employed, negative 12.84%. And you're a finance man. Return on assets, look at it, negative 3.6%. Your gearing ratios, highly geared company. Your current ratio, 0.56. You can't even meet your short-term debt obligations. So my point is that this tells you that there's something happening before Mr.
Kofi
Owusu-Boateng came. He probably hasn't corrected it, but he's come to continue in the same way. Because you are a finance manager. This is clearly a company in decline.
In distress.
It's a completely stressed. Yeah. Let me just explain a couple of things to viewers. So return on your current ratio is your ability to meet your short-term liabilities.
Yeah.
And it's 0.5. That is not good by any stretch of the imagination. So my question to you is, the company has been mismanaged for many years.
The company, I will not say has been mismanaged as such. You know, Ben, first, talking about the diversification, which brought us where we are now. In 2010, 2011, PBC was first in Club 100.
Is it?
Yeah, these very workers that are talking now, making the noise now, were the very people who put up this performance that shocked the company, this success. Now, after stopping this success, management and the board then thought that there was the need to diversify, which is not bad. So, I mean, all that was needed to be done was done. So the company went into share nut processing at Buipe. We have what we call PBC Share Limited, which is a subsidiary company of PBC, wholly owned by PBC. We have Golden Bean Hotel Limited in Kumasi. I hope you are getting the picture.
Yes.
These issues of the legacy debt and these subsidiaries and the issues surrounding them, we, the staff, from day one, we have been saying that the current management took over the company when the company was having few issues. We agree. But what we are saying, that what it takes to turn around the company, the fortunes of the company, they don't have it. Because if they have it, by now, we should be seeing ourselves coming out of the problems. But Ben, even your figures are telling the whole world that we are rather sinking.
Who built the hotel? The report said that you budgeted 10 million cedis for a hotel, and you are into cocoa buying.
Yeah.
You ended up using 42 million, as in the company, cedis for the hotel without the board's approval. You ventured into share nut industry. You bought machines meant for groundnut processing instead of share nut processing. As we speak to you, the company had to dismiss share workers because it wasn't working. So, and all this before this man came.
Yeah.
So how is this not self-inflicted?
And you took over all these things were there. They were not your doing.
Yes.
What did you also do to add up the debt? This is what we are talking about. We expect you to turn things around for us to move on. But we are thinking the issue surrounding the establishment of the factory at Buipe, the issue surrounding the construction of the hotel in Kumasi, they are all under investigation by Yoko. That is why we, the staff, we are being very careful to talk about them.
Okay.
We don't want to preempt issues. When Yoko finished with the investigation, the reports are out, and whatever action that needed to be taken is taken. Then we the staff, we can have the gut to speak to issues, whatever actions that the government will take against anybody.
So just to be clear, you want government to do or dissolve the board?
Yes.
Sack the MD?
Not only the MD, we are talking about the executive management.
The whole executive management team?
Yeah. How do you call it? The executive management, they are not able to run that.
So Kofi Osuboateng, the board chairman, the MD, sorry, the MD, Mohamed Salifu, Samuel Akwa, Thomas Joleto Kwame, Emmanuel Kakari, Jemfi, Matthew Bwedu J. Stephen Baba Kumase, Prosper Kojo Amewu, Joseph Danso, Helen Maku Obeng. These were appointed in 2017.
No.
They should all go.
Yeah, that is what we are calling for. There are some of them that represent the institutions that are having...
Like SNIT.
Like SNIT. We may not be able to speak to that.
7 of the 11 board members are government appointed.
Yeah, 4 appointed by government and 3 from SNIT. Put together gives 7.
So you want the 4 to go?
You want the 4 to go.
I see. But you still want to be paid?
We want to work and be paid.
We'll talk about the cocoa sector later. So just to give viewers a sense, so this is issue 1. Okay, I'll come back to PBC. I want to now bring Ghana Manganese into the picture. So as I said, there is a tale of two cities in a very interesting way. So PBC is a local company run by Ghanaians. Now GMC is owned by Chinese, initially owned by Ukrainians, but it's the same group of workers. Company is doing very, very well, actually, to the extent that government thinks that we are not getting enough from this company. And I'll give you some nice numbers. If you do the comparison, so this company, according to government, owes us in terms of royalties, in terms of corporate taxes, and in terms of dividends, to the tune of over 100 million. And in fact, according to the government, retained earnings abroad is over 200 million. Based on the government's estimates, GMC ought to have paid us $360 million. When I come back, I'll show you a quick report that summarizes the issues with the Ghana Manganese Company, and I'll speak to their finance director on why they reject all the claims by government. Indeed, as we speak, the company has been shut down because the government says the company is not fulfilling the terms of the lease agreement. We'll be right back. Welcome back. This is The Point of View. We are discussing the tale of two companies. One is in manganese, one is in cocoa. One is run by Chinese, the other is run by Ghanaians. One is making a lot of profit, the other is making devastating losses. One says, keep our management, let us work. The other says, we've not been working, we are being paid, sack our management. And it's all happening in Ghana. So let me show you a quick timeline of stories we've been doing on this Ghana Manganese Company. So it's not a new issue. February this year, government directed the Manganese Company to halt its operations to allow it to do an inquest into its activities. That story was written by Delali Dela Agdogla Bessa. And then in March, local contractors accused Ghana Manganese of favoring Chinese over Ghanaians. This was March 26. Then in April, Lands Minister calls for local content participation in operations of Ghana Manganese Company. That was the previous minister, John Peter Amewu, April 5. Then this week, government shuts down Ghana Manganese, August the 5. Ghana Manganese workers to go home until further notice, August 7. Then the company responds, we've been tax compliant, are shut down, unfortunate. Ghana Manganese Company, those are the stories there. So it's not a new story, but it's been brewing. The government held a press conference on the 5th, and the Honorable Asuma Treme, who is the Minister for Lands, addressed the media and outlined the sins of Ghana Manganese Company. Here's an excerpt.
In 2018, the then Lands and Natural Resources Minister, John Peter Amewu, is reported to have threatened not to renew the mining license of the company as its operations were capable of causing financial loss to the state. He is reported to have raised concerns about the company's style of pricing, which was done without government involvement. Following that threat, the company was subsequently instructed to submit its documents to the Ministry for perusal. Even though management of the company at the time is reported to have assured the minister of efforts to comply with laws, the government was not convinced, as the Lands and Natural Resources Ministry, under the leadership of Kweku Asuma Treme, launched an audit into the affairs of the company. This was after the company's operations were temporarily halted in January this year and later lifted. Months after the audit, the ministry says Ghana has made significant losses due to breach in payment of taxes and price manipulation by the company.
The findings have confirmed huge losses to the state. For instance, estimated losses to government of Ghana for the period 2010 to 2017 include additional royalty taxes due $12.8 million, additional corporate taxes due $79 million, loss of dividends declared $6.1 million, additional revenue residing offshore for period 2010 to 2017, no transfer pricing audit performed prior to 2017, $259 million.
According to Mr. Asuma Treme, in 2017, however, the fortunes of the company improved when the new owners took over.
Financial analysis indicates that since the change in ownership, that production and sales increased from 2017 to 2018. It is noted that after change of ownership, the production increased by more than 100% in comparison to the average monthly production under the prior ownership.
Mr. Asomacheme says the company has been instructed by government to shut down immediately to enable outstanding issues to be resolved.
These and several other infractions leave me no option as the sector minister than to close down the operations of GMCL until further notice. The company is therefore instructed to stop all mining, exploration, and export of minerals effective 6 August 2019.
Meanwhile, the company is also reported to have caused deficiencies on road and rail infrastructure.
The audit has also noted major infrastructural deficiencies as a result of GMCL operations. Primarily, road and rail infrastructures are stretched beyond capacity and are close to complete failure.
This, according to the ministry, is part of plans to clean up the sector, and the sector minister has announced that similar operations will be carried out on other companies. Reporting for Citi News, Hansen Ajiman.
So that was Hansen Ajiman's report. This is incredible. I have in studio the finance director or finance manager, Emmanuel Apiakubi. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, sir.
So what's your reaction to this?
The comments of the minister or the report.
No, the report just captured the minister, didn't it? So
yes, I think it's rather unfortunate, and we don't think the figures that has been thrown to the public is accurate, because we have our records and we've always been audited by GRA, and I mean, according to them, we are in full compliance of the laws of the land.
You are in full compliance according to the GRA?
GRA, who are the mandated institution to administer tax in this country. To them, we are in full compliance of the laws of the land. And even as a result of that, last year we won an award for tax compliance in Ghana. So if there is institution that looks at the tax affairs of this country, says a company is in full compliance and even awards the company, and a report really comes out with this damaging information, we need to look at it very well. We don't really need to take it hook, line, and sinker, because we really need to interrogate the report and come to the bottom of the figures.
So the GRA are your tax, of course, they are the tax authorities, but
of the land.
The ministry is the one that you
regulator.
signed, the regulator.
Yes.
You signed the agreement with them.
Yes.
And as we speak, they've closed you down.
Yes.
So the company since SIF has not been working.
Yes.
How many staff do you have?
We have in total, direct and indirect, we have about 1,500 staff.
Are you serious? 1,500?
Yes.
I thought you had 900 workers.
900 direct staff.
900 direct
staff, but it was indirectly third-party contractors. If you add all of them together, it's about 1,500.
1,500?
Yes.
So they are all gone home?
Not all of them, because the Isuta mine, we ran from a village which we built ourselves, and we provide facilities like electricity, water, health facilities, and we need to keep all this running. So those managing those facilities are still working, and the administrative staff are also still
But mining is not taking place?
Mining is not taking
Now let's go through this one by one. The government says they did an audit of your operations between 2010 and 2017.
Yes.
And they found out that based on the pricing model you use for your internal transfer pricing, because you have a company that you sell to as your main off-taker,
yes,
which is also Chinese, as is your shareholding. They feel that the pricing you use for that company is unfair. And therefore, they feel government is owed royalty taxes of an additional $12.8 million. This is between 2010 and 2017. They say you owe us, as government in Ghana, Additional corporate taxes of $79 million. Number 3, loss of dividends declared because of the calculation of your profit. You owe us an additional $6.1 million. This is the bombshell. Additional revenue residing offshore for the period 2010 to 2017, because no transfer pricing audit performed prior to 2017, $259 million. Finally, calculated loss due to price and production manipulation, $3.6 million. Add everything together, $360 million. Convert to Ghana cedis, 1.9 billion cedis. What is the GRA saying that makes you think you are innocent?
When it comes to pricing of ore or this transfer pricing, when you deal with a related party, there are rules around it, and there are various methods that you can use to establish your price. And Ghana, as a country, we subscribe to the OECD models, which are about 5 models. So we have, adopted one of the models, and we've gone through with GRA, who I believe are very competent, and they've accepted our pricing model. So this pricing model that has been used by this audit company, we are yet to see the pricing model that was used, which benchmark was used. So these figures, as I'm speaking to you, I don't know how it was really arrived at. So we need to get to the bottom of the figures. But from our side, we believe that we've adopted the right pricing model, and the figures we've declared and paid all taxes are accurate and up to date.
The government said that they based their review on what they call a fair pricing model, utilizing best business practice, open source data, and information obtained from verifiable business intelligence centers.
Yes, but that is not the way to go, because there are various methods that you need to use.
So what method do you use in your pricing?
We use the cost price method. You know like the cost for production of the ore. Also, okay. And based on that, you establish a margin on it. The margin is based on how the margin that similar companies are making on selling their ore. So we use the cost price. So and that is an accepted pricing model. You can't say that we've used the best practice. Which method did you use? This company, the auditors are from South Africa. And when you really compare the South African ore to the Ghana ore, it's totally different. Ghana is carbonate. That's what most people don't understand. We mine the carbonate ore, which is of a low grade, and it's not, the price of that ore is not found even on the market. So you need to make an adjustment to the prices that is found on the market, and we arrive at that price. We have our data, we have our records, which we've shown to the GRA, and I think they are very comfortable with it.
But the GRA review was for 2013 to 2017. The government audit starts from 2010.
Yes,
so the GRA has not necessarily absolved you entirely.
No.
If you are to believe, I haven't seen the GRA report myself.
No, it's here.
Can I have a look?
Yes, you can read.
But be that as it may, the GRA did an audit. Look, what I have here is Ghana Manganese Company pricing review, June 2017 to December 2018.
Go to the next page. Let me show you the next page.
So this is the first one, June 2017.
No, if you go to the next page, there's let me show you something. I'll just underline it for you. Let me go to the next page. It says that point number 5.
The period January 2013 to June 2017, there was no transfer price issues since the mineral ore was sold at a price which is at arm's length. Okay, so this is 2013, 2017.
Yes.
Well, the government said they started 2010. So there's 2010, 2011, 2012.
What it is
to 2010, 13 years.
As it is now, and based on the tax laws of the land, you can only go back to audit the company for 6 years. So that is what exactly.
You said what?
Based on the tax laws of the land, you can only go back to audit the company for 6 years. Back for 6 years, like, because you are only required like to keep your records for 6 years, unless there's an exceptional case.
But there's an exceptional case.
No. So if they want to do that, then they need to write to us specifically by the Commissioner General.
You can't choose. You have a what do you call it? A regulator.
Yes.
Are you saying a regulator has no right?
No, I mean
to ask. Didn't they ask you for information?
No, for tax matters, the regulator. He hasn't got the right knowledge or the right skills. If it comes to tax, he needs to liaise with
the oversight ministry hasn't got the right skills to appoint somebody to audit you.
No, they need to liaise with the administrator of tax in this country. They have
but the Auditor General has raised questions about this in the past. So isn't the Auditor General qualified to raise questions about transfer pricing?
Yes, but like they liaise with the GRA. GRA has a dedicated unit.
Yeah, but that's not the question. The issue is they are. So you are saying once GRA has cleared you are clear.
I'm not saying that, but what I'm saying is that based on this report, GRA has said that we are okay with our taxes. But if the minister thinks otherwise, then they need to follow the due processes.
But they raise other issues apart from taxes. They say, for example, that, and in fact, one of the stories I read to you, you have an exclusive agreement with MTL, sole off-taker of your volume of manganese, which is where the transfer pricing issue comes in.
Yes.
Then they say you discriminate against local contractors.
No. When we come to our mindset...
And in fact, they say you provide service to... Look, Ghanaian contractors provide services to you. You owe them hundreds of millions of Ghana cedis. Even though you continue to expand and export your manganese and ramp up production, you are not paying them.
But it's rather unfortunate that a minister should say this to the public, because this is a purely, it's a commercial relationship between two legal entities. So, for the records, we haven't exceeded the payment like was a period for these contractors. Yes, like initially we used to really pay them quite quick, but due to the expansion and the stress on our cash flow, we had to increase the days that we pay these suppliers. So it's not that.
But you see, there's a local content underlying all these agreements. Yes. In fact, Peter Mewu said in April 5 that you need to work on local content participation in the operations of your company. Yes. So we can't say it's just a relationship between two private companies.
Yes,
our policy as a country means that you have to use local companies.
Yes, and that's what.
And they're saying that you are discriminating against them.
No,
and they're refusing to pay them.
No, like that's what we use. When you come to the mine, the biggest suppliers or service providers, providers are local companies. So this issue of abusing local content laws is neither here nor there. Because when you come to the mine, our biggest service providers or vendors are local companies.
Then they say you have damaged the roads and the rail systems in the area because you have there are major infrastructure deficiencies as a result of your operations in the area. Primarily road and rail infrastructure stretched beyond capacity and close to complete failure because of your operations.
Yes, when the new investor came, he saw that the best way to export or haul the manganese ore to the port was through the rail, and he gave the railways $10 million. Where is the money? So how is he
the new
investor? The records are there.
Give who?
Ghana Railway. Was a company. $10 million to invest in the railway lines. Where is the money? They never did. So these are the issues that we have to...
What about roads? The people of Takwa protested a couple of months ago about the poor nature of their roads. They said the number of your trucks that move on that road per day is unbelievable. And in fact, it was one of the reasons why they blocked the road for a whole day recently.
Yes.
What have you done for the roads?
Yes,
Takwa and Insuta?
For the roads, for the Insuta to Tamso Junction, we've spent millions of dollars.
When?
Last year and this year, we've put the first class road from Insuta Junction to Tamso. And
what about Takwa itself?
We've made efforts. I think the various mining companies, we've come together to like put resources like together to look at that road. So it is on course.
The government also says that you are defaulted in the payment of annual mineral rights fee in excess of $4 million.
As far as this issue is concerned, I'm not aware of it. But what I know is that a couple of weeks ago, I personally sent a check of about 1.8 million to the Minerals Commission for the payment of this mining lease.
This is the point of view. We'll take a short break. When we come back, we'll find out what's the way forward. We still have produce buying company. You see how people are making money? Chinese people, and you are sitting here, you haven't done anything since January, and you are sitting here to sack your management. You see, we'll come and talk about it too. Stay with us. Welcome back to The Point of View. Today we're dealing with two issues. We're dealing with produce buying company who are simply on their knees, and Ghana Manganese Company who are doing so well. Government has shut them down. Government says you owe us, you are not paying, and you are just making profit at our expense. In the studio, I have Mr. Gankui from PBC and Mr. Piakubi from GMC. Here are some comments. Good evening, Bernard. What's wrong with the public sector? Industries are thriving under private supervision and crumbling under public supervision. This is Abu Sigri in Dansoman. Avle, PBC's issue is purely mismanagement. If the company was already dwindling before you came, you should tell us the structure you put in place to curb such issues. ROE is negative. That's return on equity. ROA, return on assets, is negative. There is an issue under the carpet, and they are not telling Ghanaians. We want to know. Richmond Jaffa. Bernard, how can people waste money in our country like this and still expect them to press their knees like this? Where is the equity and fairness the country talks about? Not working and still being paid. That's to you. Bernard, per the audit report, what is the best way of retrieving the lost funds? Was it a result of chop? And if so, what was the punitive measure to be put in place to retrieve all these monies? Ekuya from Lasibi, are you referring to PBC or to GMC? Because the audit report, there are two audit reports. Maximus Aurelius from Koforidia. Mr. Avle, so we have people in Ghana who don't work yet get paid, while others under the forestation program work but are not paid. What kind of reverse thinking is this, Bernard? What at all is going on in this country? PBC, quite a lot of people are not happy that you can come boldly on air to say you've not worked since January and you are being paid. And instead of being grateful to your management for paying you and assuring you that the government has promised to give them money, you are here sitting that they should sack your board. Because the MD said to us that the president has assured him that they are going to release funds for the company's operations.
Yeah. Ben, it is what if we say we are not working, it doesn't mean nothing is going on. You see, PBC, our core mandate is to buy cocoa, good quality cocoa, and deliver to Cocoa Board. We are not getting money to buy cocoa. From January up to about May, we're not getting enough money to buy cocoa. But we're crediting cocoa.
You are crediting cocoa?
We were crediting cocoa from the farmers and delivering to the government. You will deliver the cocoa, it takes time before we get the money and pay the farmers. So this is what we mean by, we have not been working since January. But for the past 2 months now, that one, this light crop, we've not bought even a bin of cocoa. However, let me take you back a bit.
Okay.
Ben, you said our CEO is saying that he came to meet a debt. We agree. He came to meet a debt, total liability of 564 million. You shot it up to about 800 million. We are talking about over 200 million difference, more than 230 million difference. Now, what can you show for this difference? The debt you came to meet, the magnificent building you are in is contribute to this debt. The Buipe.
Is it a new building?
It's a new building.
Built when?
Built, I think, about 4 years ago.
When the company still didn't have money. We were putting up new head office.
No, but then we were doing well. We were doing very well. Ben, I told you, Club 100, we were #1.
But that's just an award.
That is just an award.
These people were giving award for tax, but the government is saying they should pay more tax.
No, Ben, I beg to differ on this very issue. Because are you saying the Club 100 award is just an award?
Well, because the reality of your company's performance is what we are seeing today.
No. Ben, we were doing very well. Just that we diversified. During the process, few things went wrong. That has brought us where we are now. Now, you don't have anything to show for this difference. Let me tell you, for instance, Bupe, the shea nuts factory at Bupe, could have been giving PBC money now. Because by the time you even took over, they have finished with their retooling and handed over a factory which is running to you. But you are messing up the place.
They say you bought a groundnut processor instead of a shea nut processor.
Ben, I am saying,
so if you bought machines for groundnut instead of shea nut, how can
it is not your garbage. You took over a factory which is running. We expect you to make sure the factory runs and render a good account.
They say the company bought nuts. They became rotten for 3 years, and this new management has to write it off.
His management, Mr. Kofi Usu's administration, under his watch, he doubles as the board chairman for PBC here Limited. The CEO of PBC doubles as the board chairman of the subsidiary company of PBC called PBC Share Limited, located at Bupe in the northern region. You are the board chairman of this company. You got a guy to give the general manager 1.5 million cash to go to Burkina Faso to buy, share nut. Share nut didn't come. The money is not refunded over 7 months now. You sit comfortably that the general manager has been given deputy ministry appointment and you're not doing anything about it. By now, this company should be giving PBC money so that we can be using it to pay part of the debt. If you go to, you came to meet a debt, you got a guy to go to EcoBank to take loan of over 22 million Ghana Cedi to buy fleet of articulated trucks. Ben, they are parked in our workshop at Tema, gathering dust for over 1 year now. None of them have been fished with a bucket, let alone picking a bag of cocoa. We are paying interest on this money. We will not even be surprised if even the bank come and repossess this vehicle. The worst part of it is that these vehicles are neither licensed nor insured. Should something happen today, the company is going to lose, how do you call it?
So it's very clear.
This is the management we are talking about.
With all that's going on, aren't you threatening Ghana's cocoa sector existentially? Because you know that the Ghana government and Cote d'Ivoire are meeting to set a new floor price for cocoa beans.
Yeah.
Government has set a new target for cocoa production. PBC is a very important cog in that wheel. With all these noises you're making, instead of focusing and working, all these media noises you're making is going to send wrong signals to the international community. Will probably undermine our ability to meet our cocoa bean target for the year.
No.
Because if you can't pay for the beans, how will we get to the end user?
Far from that. If you bring money to this administration, they'll still mess it up. Because we can't see, he's not been able to display that ability to turn things around. So how can we trust you?
Is this the feeling of all workers or a group of workers?
I wish we were there yesterday. Some of the regions, they have to run away with the buses from the staff.
The management ran away?
I'm talking about those who were coming. Else the number at our head office.
Oh, they ran away with the buses?
Yes, because the numbers coming, the buses can't take them.
If this continues, what's going to happen? You don't want the management you have.
Yeah.
The management says we're going to give them money. Clearly, the government backs the management because the former guy running the share business is now the deputy Northern Regional Minister. So clearly, these are people the government wants to work with.
We don't believe so. We believe that the government is not well informed about what is happening. That is why we are coming all out to tell the government what is happening.
I see.
It's a surprise. It's a surprise. Mr. Kofu will be saying this, that, I have done A, B, C, D. That is why the staff are calling for my head. No, He knows the stars have been very charitable to him because he's somebody who runs an open door policy. He's very welcoming. So, I mean, so we always say, praise him for that. But the fact is, what it takes to turn the fortunes of this company around, he just don't have it.
So what kind of person should be brought?
Somebody who have the business acumen, the modern, skills to turn things around. Somebody that have the financial clout. Because cocoa, you need money to buy cocoa. Somebody that have connection, the links.
Somebody have connection.
And the links.
In the sector?
In the sector. Somebody with the experience.
Do you have anybody in mind?
We don't have anybody in mind.
Government should find somebody for you?
Yes.
Okay. Let me come to Ghana Manganese. The final accusation against you is that the Ghana government has a policy. It's called the Aluminium Development Corporation Act for the bauxite industry, as well as the Ghana Iron and Steel Development Corporation Bill for iron industry, which wants to integrate and add value before it sells. Okay. In your case, you have not shown any commitment to value addition, in particular the establishment of a smelter. Therefore, government doesn't want to work with you again.
This to me, as a Ghanaian, I think raw material, raw ore shouldn't be exported. Outside the country. There should be some value, addition to it. And the government has done well with bauxite, but the manganese or the iron ore bill is yet to be passed. There's a bill in Parliament which is yet to be passed, and I believe as a company, we are taking the right steps. That we will set up a smelting plant here to add value, this to the ore that we mine. The new investor, he took over in 2017, and I believe he's putting adequate steps in place to establish this in Ghana.
The government was expecting you to invest $1 million into the company. You haven't done that. The investor?
In terms of external funds, yes, but internally we've increased our sales, and that money.
Yeah, but if you give somebody ownership of a company,
yes,
and they are supposed to increase production on the basis of a promised injection of capital, which has not happened, government is well within its right to say you've breached the terms of the agreement.
No, we have to look at the substance of the matter. Injection of capital is to keep the mine running efficiently. And as it is now, most of the revenue that we make is re-injected back into the company. We don't pay it out as dividends to the shareholder. No, so we reinvest it in equipment and all that. So I believe, external.
So what does government get for its 10%?
Dividends.
But you are saying you reinvest the capital. You reinvest a lot of your profit into the business as operational capital. So you're saying that the dividends you are paying could be more, but you are paying a little more because a lot of the profit is being reinvested. That's what you're saying.
The money that we make, yes, we reinvest it into the business.
But that's not government's priority. Why can't you inject fresh capital into the company? This is not what the Chinese promised.
Yes, they did, but it's just been barely 2 years, and I believe
But as a Ghanaian, aren't you worried about this? Or this is where your bread is being battered, so you can't comment?
No, it's not just about that. Firstly, I'm a Ghanaian, and secondly, I'm an employee of Ghana. So the country really counts first.
So what's the way forward as far as you are concerned as management?
This, to me, if the ministry thinks we owe them money, if you think someone owes you money, what you have to do is to send them a letter to demand the money from them. You don't ask them to close down, because when they close down, how are they going to make up the money to pay you? So I believe that the shutting down the mine is not the right approach. There should be a dialogue between management and the government. And I believe,
will there be a meeting this week?
Yes, on Friday we are meeting.
There will be a meeting, yes. Hopefully. What are the workers saying?
From what I heard today, there was a press conference by the workers, and they are saying that they might go on the street if
really
within 1 week.
In support of the management and the shareholders.
Not the management, but they want their jobs back.
I see. So are they home or they are working?
They are home.
They are home.
Yes.
1,900 workers.
Most of them are home. Yes.
I see. And you people have work. You say you people want to work. You are not getting work.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Thank you. We've been speaking to Emmanuel Apiakubi. He is the finance manager of the Ghana Manganese Company, and Prince Xavier Gankui. He is the chairman of the Professional and Managerial Staff Union of PBC. So you are the union guy.
Yes.
But you work for the company?
Yes.
What do you do there?
I'm a district manager.
A big man
in
the company. Anyway, thank you for watching. I hope you've learned something about Ghanaian companies. And so that's all we have time for today's edition of The Point of View. Please stay with Citi TV. We have a lot of good programs for you. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.